Do you know that one of the most important features of an iPhone was not part of the original design? In fact, it came as an accident and an epiphany, which is how a lot of ingenuity and innovation happens if you know how to look. I'm Dave Fleming. In over 30 years, I've worked with a diverse set of leaders in industries, from two guys in a garage, literally, to multi-billion-dollar companies. During this time, I collected and curated wisdom that I want to share with you, because at the heart of it, we're all leaders. Let's figure this out together. The senior developers at Apple who helped transform how we all use our phones, that developed the iPhone, started not by laying out the features that you and I all see today as regular parts of our everyday experience of an iPhone. And they didn't map it out on a wall and say, okay, and it's going to have this and it's going to have that. You know what they did? They started with what they already had, which is one of the hallmarks of ingenuity. Starting with the resources you have. Actually, to listen to the senior developers at Apple talk about it is kind of funny now looking back. They tried to use the old iPod wheel. They actually tried to make the iPod an iPhone and tried to figure out how not to turn the dial into a rotary phone dialer. Now, none of us would ever think that. We'd just think that cool glass that now is ubiquitous on all phones just came as the result of some grand strategic design with Steve Jobs. They whiteboarded it out and then they built it. Nope. You know what happened? They failed. Over and over and over and over again. They failed so many times that Jobs was about to pull away the project and give it to somebody else. And so as they were struggling to figure out what to do, Jobs had an idea, had an aha moment. Wait a minute. We're trying to figure out how to revolutionize a phone. Well, we certainly don't want it to look like or feel like something from the past. What could we use that would really revolutionize how people interact with their phone? And he then remembered that they were developing the iPad at the same time, and the iPad was going to have a particular kind of glass on it that allowed people to use their finger to move about and navigate on the iPad. And so he called some of the developers together and showed them the glass on a big board, showed them how the glass would work, and then said, do you think this could be shrunk down and used for the phone? And there, my friends, is how the glass on your iPhone was born. It was not a grand strategy design. It was, we could say, almost accidental because of the failures that weren't working and weren't working and weren't working. But what did Jobs do? What did Jobs do? Well, Jobs practiced ingenuity. See, before he ever practiced innovation, he practiced ingenuity. Ingenuity is the mother of innovation. Ingenuity is where you really ought to focus your time on taking the resources you have, all of the resources you have, and trying to arrange them to do something new, something different that leads to a breakthrough. Remember the commercials if you're, over 40, 45? Reese's peanut butter cups. Remember those? One person was walking along and they weren't paying attention and they were eating out of a peanut butter jar. I mean, this happens often, right? You see people all the time walking down the street, eating peanut butter out of a peanut butter jar. And another person who's also not paying attention was walking down the street eating chocolate. And they sort of feign a trip, accidentally land toward each other, and the chocolate goes in the peanut butter. Remember those? If not, you can probably find them online. They'll change your life. And the person pulls the chocolate out and gets mad at first and says, hey, you put your chocolate in my peanut butter. No, you put your peanut butter in my chocolate. And then they both take a bite. Magic. And the combination of those two resources, chocolate and peanut butter, literally changed the world. Reese's peanut butter cups, born. The failures of trying to use the iPod were overcome by taking another resource, a resource that nobody had thought to use for the phone, and said, wait a minute, what if we use that over there? Hey, would that peanut butter work with this chocolate? What if we use that glass over here on this project? And that is how the iPhone got its face. What challenges are you facing right now? Where there's a resource by, look adjacent, look out. What other resources do you have? Is there a new way to optimize your mission or an initiative or a challenge or an opportunity by looking just beyond where you always look to other adjacent resources and wondering, getting curious about whether or not a new combination of resources could lead to a breakthrough in the way you do your business, the way you deliver your services, the way you do your product development, the way you deliver, the way you ship to your customer. Ingenuity is the ability to find usable ideas, maximize those ideas, and then release them and adapt as you need to. If you can do that, one day you just might invent an iPhone or a Reese's peanut butter cup.